Thank you very much for joining me on this Sunday. Meteorologist Brian Shields. We're thinking of those in Barbuda that had to deal with Tammy. Such a fine line with this. Antigua, for example, not a lot. Some breezy conditions, some rain. Not far away, Barbuda, we saw this thing roll right in. We're thinking of you with the cleanup efforts this morning. There is Tammy. Now, back behind it, we're going to see these feeder bands working in. For some of us, we're actually going to see a higher chance of flooding for today. And then look at this, trying to develop in the southwestern Caribbean, south of Jamaica, near Nicaragua and Honduras. I want to get into this. Plus, we have other tropical disturbances back here. So lots to cover. And I want to get into some of those rain totals as well. But again, we have a higher flood potential in many spots for today. It is super busy out there. Of course, here's what we're seeing with Tammy. The center is to the north of Anguilla, to the north of St. Martin and St. Barts, and that's some good news. But as this lifts, this blob lifts to the north, these feeder bands, those are rain bands that kind of wrap into this system far away from the center, but we're going to see that higher chance of flooding today with that. So please use some extra caution. Anywhere from, again, Antigua and Barbuda, south, watching even over toward Montserrat, St. Kitts and Nevis, SABA, Statia, we could get some showers and storms. More so Guadeloupe, Dominica, Martinique, watching over toward St. Lucia today. These feeder bands working in. We had a big taste of that in Barbados yesterday. We'll be watching out for that. But you see how they kind of set up and they flare up. And even toward Grenada, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Trinidad and Tobago, northern Venezuela, some of the rain today little enhanced because of Tammy to the north. So if you do get rain today, we could actually see some mudslides in spots and watching out for some of the flooding. I want to get to those rain totals in a moment for you. Here's the broader picture. And again, watching activity out here in the eastern Pacific. I'll dive into that. This blob may develop. That is Norma moving in. Texas, that'll eventually bring some rain. But look at that little surge right there. And even over toward the Cayman Islands, we have some scattered showers and storms. And then a lot of moisture over here. That may have been catching your eye in some of my videos yesterday. Of course, we were focused on Tammy. What we're watching out here is nothing organized, but these areas will eventually move in for the week ahead. I'll watch out for the possibility as they move into the Caribbean that they could spin up. Not seeing that as of now, but that is going to bring us some heavier rain at times. This here is very, dangerous as far as the rain is concerned. No other way to really put it. Nicaragua, we're going to see heavier rain moving in. Please use some caution. Flooding, mudslides. Some of this will move toward Honduras. And again, we had some really heavy rain in Roatan last week with those mudslides. We don't need any more. Costa Rica, watching that as well. And there is a chance that this could briefly develop into a tropical system. I'll show you that in a second. Let's get back to Tammy. Here's Puerto Rico, and thank you for your patience in Puerto Rico. I was continually saying we are in monitor mode, not action mode, as the action would stay mainly to the east, and we've been right on the edge of it, U.S. and British Virgin Islands. This will pull to the north. What happens down the road, still a question mark as far as what happens with Bermuda. I will show you the big picture with the tropical model for that with Bermuda in a second. Forecast path kind of does this snake kind of kind of backwards S curve here. Eventually some weakening out of this as this kind of lifts to the north over the next several days. So we have a lot to cover with the flooding. Let me go step by step with you and then get into the rain totals. All right, first, Eastern Caribbean focus, Haiti, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, ABC Islands. Here's the system here to the north of Anguilla and St. Martin today. And with that, those feeder bands will be working in today with the higher potential of flooding for today. I was highlighting that at the beginning of the video. This is tomorrow. More of it moves away, but still some feeder bands, not as many. And then we'll be watching this. Look off to the east. This moisture I was just showing you. Again, some of this will start to get closer as we go throughout the week ahead. You see that blob of rain not organized on Tuesday, but eventually as we go throughout the week, some of that could move in and enhance that chance of flooding. I'll be tracking that for the week ahead. All right, let's shift now. Western Caribbean, huge concern. Can't stress this enough. Now, my friends in Jamaica, this action looks to stay to the south, but this area in here in Jamaica over toward the Cayman Islands, Western Caribbean will be really the hot spot for development over the next few weeks. So heads up in Jamaica, watching everything carefully. But you see here, if this area of rain, part of it stays offshore longer, that could actually spin up into a brief tropical system. I've seen this before, been doing this for a little while, and again, this could develop. It's not out of the question this becomes a tropical storm. Either way, Honduras, Nicaragua, today, tomorrow, into Tuesday, some tropical storm conditions, and this kind of builds to the north. So even over toward Belize, we could see that chance of rain increasing. This is by Tuesday. Can't caution enough. If you have friends and family, Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, even Panama, please spread the word about about this. It could be a named system, but either way, regardless of the name, we're going to see intense flooding, especially Honduras and Nicaragua. Could see some extra rain, Guatemala and El Salvador. But again, please get the word out. Mudslides will be a potential really heavy rain. Again, can't stress that enough, moving into parts of Central America. Now, look at this. Here's the wind field. Look at that little spin right there. That's what I'm watching there. This here is Tammy. Still winds. You can see a little red in there. Winds of 110 kilometers an hour, 70 miles per hour. Really a strong tropical storm, low-end hurricane at this point. But we'll have some gustier winds, especially northeastern Caribbean, even through tomorrow. This is tomorrow morning. Look how that tries to spin up near Nicaragua, then lifts to the north. It may run out of time to develop as it starts to work toward the coast with that land interaction. But again, this could become a tropical storm. Either way, gusty winds, tropical storm conditions, definitely moving into parts of Honduras and Nicaragua. And then look at that. That's what is left of Tammy, lifting up to the north, even more so by the time we get into Tuesday. I'll show you that in Bermuda in a second. Let me get to and I want to get into the Eastern Pacific. Rain totals as we go over the next 2 days. Now, it's going to be hit or miss. It's almost wait and see. It's going to be really an island by island situation. Just depends on where those feeder bands set up. But this just gives us a feel where they set up. We could see some spots over the next 3 days get upwards of 150 millimeters or 6 inches of rain. There is going to be flooding, but as I mentioned, a wait and see where those feeder bands set up. Barbados, St. Lucia, kind of on the line of that. Most of the action to the north, but still scattered showers and storms. There could be a few far-stretching feeder bands, say, over toward Trinidad and Tobago, isolated flood threat. This here, a huge issue. This is the, look at the rain. This is off the chart, and that's my concern. Nicaragua, for example, we could see some spots around 300 millimeters of rain or 12 inches of rain, depending on which system you use. Again, that is definitely going to lead to that flooding. Some of this will creep into Honduras, especially by tomorrow. So thank you for getting the word out. Again, if you have friends, family in parts of Central America. Now, water temperatures are warm across the board. That's why Tammy was able to spin up. And again, over here, where this system is trying to form in the southwestern Caribbean, south of Jamaica, south of the Cayman Islands, water temperature is still 30 degrees Celsius. That's about 85, 86 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's why it could spin up into a named system. Now, here's the broad picture. So again, watching this area here, I'll get to Norma in a second, and then you could see these areas here, not organized, but watching Tammy, here's Bermuda. Now, it could just get caught up. You see that line right there? This line, that's a front. That's one of those fronts that help to turn it. It may take it. That would be some good news to keep it around Bermuda. It may help spin it out, but if this front moves a little bit quicker, what's left of this could actually spin back toward Bermuda, so I'll be watching that throughout the week. Tammy may kind of get stuck out there. It should weaken either way. That would be some good news, but again, you see this kind of swirl out here, and then here, areas of rain as we get through the week ahead that will try to work into the Caribbean. Look at that surge of moisture across the Caribbean, and that's an issue. That's one of the issues as we get these surges of moisture this time of year and those very warm water temperatures in the Caribbean. That's where we could see something form over the next couple of weeks. This area here looks like it will try to develop, watching out for the southwest coast of Mexico. That is Norma. Again, it did weaken as expected. Still watching tropical storm conditions, southern Baja, southern Gulf of California. This is going to continue to work its way into Mexico with that weakening trend throughout the day. It's already been spreading some cloud cover to New Mexico and parts of Texas, and eventually it'll help enhance, enhance the chance of rain over toward Texas. You can see as we work our way into tomorrow, better chance of rain in some spots in drought-stricken Texas. So that's some good news to get some rain moving in. So Barbados, again, on the edge of those bigger feeder bands today. But if we get some in Barbados, if we get some in St. Lucia, that could lead to some isolated areas of flooding. St. Lucia, rain chance elevated. Guadeloupe, watching the feeder bands today. So again, if they get stuck on top of us, we'll see some spots that could get around 100 millimeters or 4 inches of rain. Same thing from Guadeloupe to Dominica, watching those feeder bands into Martinique today. If they get stuck on top of us, that could be some hours worth of some of those tropical downpours leading to some of those mudslides or landslides. Antigua and Barbuda, of course, thinking of Barbuda with some of the cleanup efforts today. Still those feeder bands that we'll be trying to filter around throughout the day. St. Kitts and Nevis and Montserrat, the video I did last night, I was mentioning how worse weather would stay to the east, and it did. Thankful for that over towards St. Kitts and Nevis, Montserrat, SABA, and STATIA, but still those feeder bands today will actually be worse in some spots. Anguilla and St. Bart's, rain chance stays at about 50% for today. Worst action again to the east, but watching things filter around Tammy. St. Martin, SABA, STATIA, same thing. Just seeing those rain bands filtering around Tammy. Puerto Rico, enhanced chance of rain, scattered showers and storms. Today, same thing, U.S. and British Virgin Islands, and of course, the seas have been rocky. I was highlighting that a few days ago. Those seas, of course, building around Tammy. Trinidad and Tobago, scattered rain and storms. But if you do get some, you get the big tropical downpours. If you don't, we are just so hot. As we work our way into Grenada, same thing, about a 50% chance of scattered showers and storms the next 2 days, a 50% chance today. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, again, watching the far stretching rain bands around Tammy. Haiti, about a 40 to 50% chance of showers and storms the next couple days. The Dominican Republic, we have about a 60% chance of those scattered showers and storms. Tammy not coming into our direction. Jamaica, scattered showers and storms. So again, Jamaica, I'm going to be highlighting Jamaica as we go over the next few weeks, because the Western Caribbean will definitely be an area to watch with these old fronts around to see if something spins up. Same thing, Cayman Islands, rain chance about 40 to 50%. Bermuda, very limited, but Bermuda later in the week, we'll see what happens with what is left of Tammy. Belize, that rain chance, look at Tuesday. That moisture to the south, the flooding to the south, that starts to creep closer on Tuesday. Same thing in the Yucatan, rain chance by Tuesday will start to bump up. 40% chance through the Bahamas. Again, some scattered showers and storms. 50% chance for today in the Turks and Caicos. Cuba, rain chance holding at about 30%. 30% chance as well in Aruba. So Aruba, Curacao, and Bonaire, rain chance a little higher, getting over a cold, a little bit higher, but as we get into later in the week, I'll be watching that moisture rolling in from the Atlantic, so we may see the rain chance even higher. That would be awesome through the ABC Islands. Costa Rica, again, that very high chance of rain, especially Nicaragua, through Honduras, watching the rain chance in Panama. 40% chance today in northern Venezuela, and a few scattered showers and storms will be possible today in parts of Guyana, and a few isolated ones possible in parts of Suriname. So yeah, really busy pattern. Watching these feeder bands, and I'll be going through the comments with you throughout the day. Again, we're going to see many spots get much worse flooding today than what we had yesterday with Tammy. Fortunately, most of Tammy was trying to stay to the east, with a big exception in Barbuda. Central America, that flooding that I've been highlighting in this video, not just today, but the next few days, and it may try to spin up some. Watching the other tropical disturbances in the Atlantic as they move in for the week ahead. And the overall hotspot is going to be right through the Caribbean, especially the Western Caribbean over the next 2 to 3 weeks, where we could see something spin up like we're seeing near Central America now. Something is trying to develop. It's going to be that pattern as we get into November. 39 days left in the hurricane season. So well wishes to my friends in Barbuda. Thank you for hanging with me with Tammy. Very tricky system. Tammy and Philippe, the kind of trickier systems this year. So watching the rain throughout the day, please stay safe. Please get the word out as well in Central America, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.